I am going to begin to redeploy into uranium fairly aggressively in the next month. I suspect that half of my deployments will mirror the deployments of the industry itself, which is to say that I will buy shares in physical uranium on exchanges. This is not the kind of material that you want to store in your basement, but rather that I will buy shares of one of the exchange-traded uranium proxies. I will certainly increase my positions in Kazatomprom and Cameco and CGN mining, assuming that the markets don't really truly run away, and I'll begin to redeploy back in the juniors in the next 4 weeks.
Hey guys, welcome to the channel Market Uncharted. Today a really special video, an update on the uranium. As you just heard, Rick Rule will start deploying his cash flow into the uranium spot price, the uranium miners. So for me it's a green light, especially after all this crazy week that we had so many updates, that I will try to make it here simple and concrete just for you. Really important, but in my opinion it has begun. So the race for the uranium spot price, it's really crazy right now. The miners just did a jump 30% since my first video, the uranium bull case 3 weeks ago. I wanted to do a quick update. I thought I would do this only in 6 months, but the news just came so fast that I think this is really added value for all of us. So we will take a look at the uranium spot price, the Cameco highlights, a bit about the macro environment, what is happening right now, the good news about the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust ETF that Sprott is preparing to deploy in June, and also of course the Silver Charters update with the miners and also the spot. So guys, please share the video. I think this is really important information. I hope you enjoy.
Most of the quotes that we see for uranium are the spot market, which is where about 25% of total uranium volumes trade. That is the least opaque market. The term market, the contract market, where the miners sell either through the brokers or directly product to utilities in 5-year terms or 7-year terms, is much more contractual and much more opaque. The word that we're getting, and I can't confirm this, is that while transactions in the spot market are going across the board at about $30 a pound, transactions in the term market are going for as high as $45 a pound. In other words, the utilities are paying more in the current environment so that they secure supply at reasonable prices in the longer term environment. If we are seeing, and I'm not sure that we are, but if we are seeing the strength in the term market that the Cameco restart would imply, you will begin to see that reflected in the spot market too.
So as we just heard about the quotes between the contract market and the spot market that Rick Rule really explained in a simple manner to all of us, I think it's important to understand that the spot market, it's only 20% of everything that's traded for uranium. So this is important because it's not as other commodities. We finished the week at the spot price of $30.75 per pound, which is again a real growth during the week, which made all the miners jump again. A really amazing Friday for all the miners in the uranium. So let's understand that why this is important, because in this decade it's expected that the demand for uranium to grow at least 26%. So it's really important because I will show you about the supply-demand imbalance that we are experiencing. So we can expect and it to be profitable for any miner. As we just heard, the term contracts are around $45, but to push more investment into the market, at least the spot price needs to be around the $50 to the $60 per pound, or even higher, because this is important. That is a severe overshoot is still possible in the medium term. So it's really important to understand that the uranium is quite possibly in the moment to explode, especially because of all the financial buyers, heavy money coming through on the big ETFs, on the spot price, Sprott with the new ETF. So everything, it's really important to keep up with what's happening right now. And also we had a presentation of Cameco to release their first quarter results. And also it's really important to understand that they are actually really excited about the future. They understand what's going on with nuclear power, all the governments around the world trying to move into this. The fundamentals are quite obvious, and of course, Cameco, it's a blue chip stock in this sector. So everything they say must be heard by all of us as investors. And understand here that the transition, it's all around the world. We have USA, Russia, China, and especially China, that has a really movement to have a carbon neutral target. Also Japan, that shut down so many factories after Fukushima. They are starting to waking up. In Europe, as we said before, we have France that relies heavily on nuclear. So this is all important information that support the nuclear power transition. And they have a really advantage, as we can see here. Everything it's new technology. We have the small modular reactors. This is scalable solution, so we don't have to be or have all of those big factories with big reactors. We can scale down to have simpler, safer solutions. This is really important because nuclear power will be on the electrification and decarbonization of the world. So stay with high attention to all of this. It can level down the cost of electricity. Again, this is a report coming from Cameco of their results. So everything points out on the reduction of the fossil fuel technologies to the nuclear power technologies that will help stabilize electricity all over the world. And again, the imbalance is between supply and demand is also important because we already saw that demand will increase, but it's not even only that. The demand will increase, but the supply will decrease as well. So this will bring the price in the future up. And as we can see here, we already find ourselves in the deficit. And the outlook for 2035 is still with a big deficit of around 90 million per pound. Again, here just an overview of the entire world, what we have, how many reactors do we have, because the truth is supply is uncertain. Although the demand is really heavy, the thing is, all over the last decade, the reactors were being shut down. We can see here Australia, 0 reactors, Kazakhstan, 0 reactors, and so on and so forth. And besides all of this, now let's look at the macro environment. So you see here the world is moving to the clean energy, with a driving optimism for the first time in the uranium sector. People are waking up to all the possibilities and advantages. And also we have here the infrastructure bill that Biden's just trying to push forward, the $2 trillion in this. Also, for the first time, we had something really important, because Granholm's statement represents the first time an administration official has publicly acknowledged its interest in working with Congress to subsidize nuclear power plants that have been closing in recent years due to competition from natural gas and renewables. So once again, the macro environment is really pushing forward. And finally, China will actively develop nuclear power. As we said, they have a decarbonization intention, and this is only possible with nuclear power.
The second thing that you've seen is at least 2 different junior uranium issuers taking advantage of very strong share prices to raise capital in the market. And rather than deploying that money that they raise in cash, they have actually taken the cash proceeds of the share issuances to buy physical uranium, preferring to store their capital in uranium rather than in cash, which will say something about what the insiders in the industry think is going to happen.
So you see a really good news all across the board for uranium. Let me just add the last one, the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, that according to Braden Munro, the CEO of Bannerman Resources, the uranium Australian miner will change the uranium game. As we know, the Sprotts took over the Uranium Corp, which is the biggest publicly traded uranium investment vehicle, which will provide a really important drive for the uranium price. So again, this can be really interesting. Let's just finalize off once again, let you know the guys that I really follow to keep up with the news about the uranium. I strongly recommend you to follow all of these people in Twitter. They keep up with all the news, all the information that we can rely on. And here the Silva chart is once again with the charts, updated charts. This is the Uranium Miners ETF, ticker URNM. Again, they just created a new all-time high just this week with strong volume. So this is important. Every time that we broke out a new all-time high with volume, this is a really bullish for the ETF. And also here, understanding the blue chip of uranium Cameco that also did new highs around or above 1971. It closed this Friday above it with $20 per share. Also, Kazatomprom, the biggest miner in uranium in the world, also again new all-time high. So all of this information is only bullish around this sector. Just to give you an idea, this is some stocks in Australia on the uranium market that on May 5th, with good news, just completely exploded. So thank you guys for watching this video, this update on uranium. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is just information for you to know. Do your own research. I strongly recommend you so. I hope you liked the video. Please share as much as possible. Please subscribe on our channel. And don't forget, just like the markets, we will not rest.